Hi Daniel, welcome to From the Stage Door.
Hello, nice to see you.
Yes, you too. So first question I'm going to kick off with is, have you always had a passion for theatre and performing?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Ever since I was a child, I think even playing Joseph in the Nativity, sort of started it all off. And then I do remember there was one time where I played a drunk, singing "Show Me the Way to Go Home," and this is still in primary school, so I don't even know where I got the song from or where I'd heard it. And I came on just singing as this drunk guy singing "Show Me the Way to Go Home" as a primary school kid, and sort of got quite a nice reaction, sort of people laughing and all that kind of stuff. And so it just all sort of started from primary school, I think. It's always been a passion, really.
And did you train professionally, or did you just sort of go straight into auditions and stuff?
Yeah, I went to drama school at 19, and I went to the Academy of Live and Recorded Arts. So it was more of an acting school. There was a musical theatre element to it, and we did sort of ballet every morning, which, thank goodness. I think that's actually quite important. It's just sort of knowing, it was helping to know the body and everything like that. So even training as an actor, I've ended up in musical theatre because I could slightly hold a tune and hold myself and move quite well for a larger guy. I wasn't that large when I was at school, but as I've got older and middle age has attained itself on my figure, I can still move like a very graceful elephant. So actually having that basis has been quite invaluable, really.
So what was your first ever theatre job?
First ever professional theatre job. I played Low Sing in Le Cage aux Folles, and I was still at college, and it was just a 2-week thing, like a week rehearsal and a week's run at the Brighton Theatre Royal. Mm-hmm. And they let me go off because it was just only 2 weeks, and it was, I just absolutely loved it. It was the first paid thing I'd ever done, and playing one of the Cargels, I was Low Sing. I mean, I was a wee slip of a thing, but tall and fairly slender, and sort of dressing up in. There's one time where Zaza was coming down the stairs after his transformation in mascara, and at the end, the 4 Cargels sort of run on and look at each other, and that me and this guy were sort of opposite each other on the steps, either side of the steps, and we sort of looking at each other going, "Oh my God, you look good. No, you look good." Is it? I'm completely forgetting the moves that we were doing because we were like, "He looks so fantastic." And we'd had like all the original costumes and the original set for the show, and it was, I just absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it. And of course the music, Jerry Herman's music for that show is just stunning. There was like 3 costume changes in the opening number, which is like sort of 12, 13, 14 minutes long, something like that, with the big coats, and I had the fan. Then that sort of gets lifted up into the, as you're doing the routine, and you got these pajamas on, you rip those on into little sailor's outfit. It was just amazing.
So who was your greatest influence growing up?
I mean, I always, because we had sort of growing up as a kid, you always had like Danny LaRue on the stage, and not that I'm do drag or I'm a pantomime dame a lot now, and I do sort of wear a bit of makeup, but I always think that he was just so funny and so gorgeous, so amazing. I think he was definitely one. And again, I think Michael Crawford, was, when he got Phantom, being this comedy television guy, from Some Mothers Do Have Them, and then playing Phantom, you're like, is that really? But he was amazing. Of course, he had done Barnum and those sort of shows, but I was too young, I think, to sort of see those or remember about that. It was only when sort of Phantom came along that he sort of went, "Oh, what?" And then you heard his voice and you thought, "Man, that's actually," I think so, as a male being a female was Danny LaRue, and I think sort of for a character comedy character guy. I think it has to be Michael Crawford as the young kids who sort of going into that sort of serious musical theatre.
Yeah, he's brilliant. So what's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
Best piece of advice? The easiest part of acting is giving up.
That is good, actually.
And you feel it so many times. I did sort of, there was a period where I did give up for like 2 years, and I ended up being a manager for Starbucks. I sort of worked up from the small store in Wimbledon Village to like Heathrow Terminal 3 airside, which at the time was the busiest store. And I did that in 18 months. And all of a sudden I just went, I didn't train for this. This isn't what I'm meant to be doing. And I just suddenly, I hit the epiphany again. I just, itchy, it's that itchy feet. And I really did have itchy feet. And then my first job back after that, after saying, right, I'm going back into it, was Billy Elliot in the West End for the original cast. And at the time, that was I was late 20s. And that's been such an important part of my life for over a decade, really, from starting off in the original West End to going to the last UK, or the first UK tour, which was the last time it was seen in the UK. So it was a massive period of my life, which was amazing. And thank God that I did, really. Yeah.
So what would be your dream role or dream show to be in?
Oh, do you know, thing is, I think it sounds awful that I think I've done them, but I started off as ensemble in Billy Elliot, and I always wanted to do Mr. Braithwaite, and I was understudy in London, so I did that. But then to actually have the role as my name as Mr. Braithwaite for the UK tour, and that was like 22 months in the end of doing that on the road, was just brilliant. I've always wanted to play Edna in Hairspray. I was lucky enough to do that twice. I did it in Stevenage for their summer show at the Gordon Craig, and I love that place. They just literally gave me all the roles that I've ever wanted to play. So I did Edna in Hairspray, and I mean that is just a fantastic show. And it was just great. We had such a great cast for that as well. And another one was to play Roger de Brie in Producers. Again, Stevenage gave that to me. I was on finishing the tour with Billy, and they were doing the auditions for Producers, and I just went, oh, this would be really nice if I could play Roger de Brie, because he just does the song "Keep It Gay" as the duck, "Keep It Gay," and that's it. So I said, after quite a long period of time, just to do that one number would be, because I couldn't remember it at all. I saw it in the West End with Nathan Lane and Lee Evans, and I thought, oh, it'd be lovely. I'll just do that one number and go off. Completely forgot then, looking through the script, he's Hitler in Springtime for Hitler. And I was like, oh my God, what have I done? I just needed a rest. Because it literally started a week after finishing. So I thought, oh, I could have a little bit of holiday. I'd just do. But and then completely forgot about it. And then just thought, but I absolutely had a ball. I just, the Springtime for Hitler number, I absolutely adored it in the end. So I think of Captain Hook as well in Peter Pan. Again, that was Steve. So they've kind of given me the roles that I've just always sort of dreamed of playing. I suppose I think my next one, if I say out loud, one of the theatre managers in Phantom of the Opera, because I saw that was my first West End show that I saw as a kid. And so I was just blown away by it. And I've always wanted to be in it. So maybe one of the theatre managers. That's my next dream role. Please. Thank you. If you're offering.
I wish. What advice would you give to your younger self?
Oh gosh. Stay steady. I think maybe be a bit more picky. About some of the stuff, but again, I don't regret anything that I've done, but just be aware of the jobs that maybe you do. Don't always say things, really. not maybe necessary. Uh, yeah, just keep at it. Just keep going. Your work. You're just. I mean, that's what I've always said. Fame is just something that you do not want to deal with, and if it comes in this business, you just then have to deal with it. But I just want to be a working actor, doing a job that I love. And I never said I wanted to be. I don't want to be famous. I don't want any of that being followed around and in the press and all that kind of stuff. I think that turns your life into a complete nightmare and hell. I just want to be a working actor and able to enjoy the things that I, be able to buy something that I want to be able to buy, or live in a nice house. I just want to be able to work like anybody else works in the world. I just want to be able to work. So just keep steady, I think, is the advice.
Good.
And save at least a third of your money for tax.
Definitely. So what's your favourite theatre to perform in?
Do you know what? Any theatre. I cannot pick what. I'm sort of like a resident dame for the Corn Exchange in Exeter. I have to say, that's my Christmas home, and so every time we sort of go back, it's just seeing all the front of house people, the backstage. It's like it is Christmas, and it's like a home in itself.
Yeah.
So I mean that's just lovely, and also I'm originally from Exeter as well. Even though I live in London now, and I've been in London since I was 20. But I'm originally from Exeter, so to go home and have family, old school friends, work friends from when I was Saturday jobs and things like that. So it's great that I've sort of got that family. But as a favourite theatre, I mean, the Hippodrome's lovely. Sunderland Empire, I was able to do, and that's just a massive, massive theatre. Edinburgh Playhouse. But I also like just the small, intimate, above the pub, sort of 50-seater theatres. You get a different audience reaction. There's a different vibe in the space to just the sort of the massive. I just think being on a stage, any stage, is actually my favourite. Just being able to do what I love to do.
Yeah.
Really.
What's been your most challenging role to date?
I mean, 8 shows a week of doing Mr. Braithwaite and splits, tapping and skipping at the same time. I mean, that's physically challenging. There was a bucket on the side of the stage for me coming off, just in case the noises that would come out of me. I think there's, I think Roscoe in Ellie G. Sprangell's Punks and Raging Queens is that one monologue, but it was just trying to get the arc of the story with it inside that monologue. And those feelings. Greta in the play Bent, and both of those times I had a brilliant director, Joseph C. Walsh, casting me in those as well. And he sort of really strips everything down and is able to advise and push you into ways that you wouldn't normally be pushed in. So yeah, I think there's Roscoe in Elegies and Greta and Bent. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Who would you most like to work with in the industry?
Golly.
Anybody.
I mean, I'd love to work. I'd love to work with Elaine Page, just because Elaine Page, Queen of Musical Theatre.
Yeah, totally.
I would. I'd love to work with Julia Roberts. I think she's just ever since sort of like right from Pretty Woman through to Erin Brockovich, even Notting Hill. I just I just love to be able to just sort of maybe do a scene right opposite her and just look at that smile.
Yeah,
I just think she has the most beautiful smile. Judi Dench, I think, is a must. You've got to put her down there as well.
Yeah.
At some point. I mean, why not?
What's been the funniest thing?
It's a tough one.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right. No, it's a tough one. Yeah, I don't really have icons anymore. I think that's, but yeah, I don't know. It's quite hard.
What's been the funniest thing that's happened to you on stage?
Oh golly, I'm not sure it happened to me. I mean, it didn't happen to me. It's just that I'm a giggler. Yeah, when I will just I will corpse on stage, and I will be crying even in the most serious of scenes. I could be crying if something really funny happens. I mean, one is bless her, she played Dead Mum, and she came running through the doors in Billy Elliot to say, and this is for the opening scene, to sort of say the words "any news," and the lift that sort of went down, it wasn't quite right, and there was a lip. And as she came running in, Sarah, she tripped on the stairs, step to step, lunged a bit, was able to pick herself up, but then tripped on the other bit that was sticking up and went flat on her face and travelled down the stage to what we had, the kabuki at the beginning, and literally was flat on her face. But we couldn't, the music couldn't go, the cue line was "any news."
Yeah.
So until she said "any news," nothing could happen. So she still just sort of laid on the floor. And two guys either side of the front on there, she sort of sat there singing the song, sort of walked over, helped her up. And she's sort of like this on one knee. Between these two guys, "any news?" I'm like in so much pain because she sort of really flipped out. Oh, I was so red. The tears are rolling up. Of course, everyone's really serious because it's the news, are we going out on strike? People then coming in sort of afterwards, sort of looking at me because I'm right there at the top of the door and asking me, "What's up with you?" Oh, I'm so red. Right red. Oh, I'm so hot. Oh, it's making me feel up now. Oh dear.
Oh dear. So, right, what has been your most surreal moment when performing?
Oh gosh. Oh, I don't know. I'm probably doing Hieronymus in it. I mean, that was a challenging role as well. Going back to another, that was a real because it was monologues at the beginning and end of each. I mean, it was like 10-minute monologues at the beginning and end of each act with scenes in the middle, and it was like a 3-act play. So that was challenging, learning all of that. And I think playing him and forgetting my lines, but because it was the monologue, the rest of the guys were just sort of out back, and you're just sort of there, and I was sort of left alone. And there's no one to help. So when I was sort of forgetting my lines, I'm just running around the stage and making it up. And at one point I started skipping. And this is a very serious theme where he's, talking about sticking a dagger in his stomach to try and don't you take the dagger from the wall, and and all of this. And I started skipping around the stage trying to remember my lines. That makes me feel hot as well. I don't know why I started skipping.
Obviously made perfect sense at the time.
At the time, and people went, "Oh my god, the feeling," and they could sort of come out after, "Oh my god, the feeling and the emotion that I had from that afterwards was amazing." You're like, "Oh, please." I didn't even know you'd lost your line. I didn't even know. Didn't even remember. Oh, yeah. I thought I'd forgotten about that. I thought that you brought that up. Now I'm going to have night.
Have you ever taken any props or costumes home from a show?
Oh, yeah. Oh yeah. I think I've got a wardrobe full of shoes. Every shoes, because some of them are actually sort of made for you, um, or just sort of size you. I mean, especially if you've been in a long show for a long run. I mean, who's going to want to wear them afterwards? I mean,
yeah.
I've got tutus, boiler suit. What else have I got? Belts. Belts is a good one. Oh. Belts is always a good one to take, I think. I don't know why I'm giving this secret away, because they never really put that on the infantry at the end of the run. And of course, you know, being a bit larger, you can never get belts that fit you. So to actually have a show that has a belt that fit, you know, so I always go for shoes and belts.
Shoes and belts. Okay.
And I always seem to wear them as well. It's only the night, you know, only the nicer, you know, you're not.
Oh yeah. Okay. Top 5 musicals.
Golly. Ones I've been in, or ones that I love?
Ones to watch or to perform in, or a mixture of both.
I think Phantom has to be there. That was my first West End show that I saw. I was blown away by that. Miss Saigon just makes me cry even thinking of the overture.
Yeah, totally.
I'm not, and I just want it to go back to the original, not the newer version with that new Ellen song. I prefer the old Ellen song.
Yeah.
Now that I've seen her, I think that was I don't know why they changed that, but
no.
that version, and I can put that on now and I'd start crying. Sunset Boulevard. I used to sort of skip classes on the Thursday afternoon and go to the matinees. My friend would let me in, work front of house, so I was just astounded by the original staging of that with the house.
Yeah.
It just sort of appeared, and then it just lifted out one scene where it lifted up and you had the party going on underneath for New Year's. I was just that I just found amazing. What else? How many is that?
3. Get 2 more.
3. I think one that I think if you were lucky to see it, I think you will always remember it, and it's I Can't Sing. I never laughed so much in a theatre in my entire life. And the music was all right as well. I think it's so sad that show closed and so quickly. I'm not sure it even got out of previews, did it? I think it opened and then lasted 2 weeks, and that was really sad. I saw it on the Monday, I think, of its final week, and I had to go back and see it again. And I got tickets for the Friday because I had to take my partner along and say, "You have to see this and watch this." We were absolutely crying with laughter. It was one of the best things It was so stupid but brilliant, and I just don't think it wasn't given a chance to do its thing.
Yeah.
And I'll try and pick a small one. I've done all big ones, haven't I? What's oh gosh. No, I can't. And I think the last show I did, which I did on a cruise ship, we did a 19-minute version of it. And so it was fast paced and it was really good. I had a brilliant Bernadette. I played Bob, and that's Priscilla. Real fun memories. Just playing opposite, I think, one of the greatest underrated actors, American actors. He was just amazing, and I got on so well with him as well. Such a good friend was on board, and he was just amazing to play opposite. So I think that's my.
Okay, quick fire round.
Oh gosh,
we're ready. Tea or coffee?
Coffee.
Sun or rain?
Sun. Cats
or dogs?
I want a dog, but I used to have a cat.
Okay, that's allowed. Musical or play?
I'd like to do more plays, but I like watching them. but I've been in lots of musicals.
That's a non-committal answer.
Yeah, it is really. I don't mind theatre. Let's say just theatre.
Somebody did say a play with music, just to get around that.
A play with music. Yes. Yeah, I like that.
Comedy or tragedy?
Both have their I play a lot of comedy and I want to try more tragedy. A tragic comedy. How about that?
Okay, interesting. Sweet or savoury?
Oh gosh, I have such a sweet tooth. So sweet tooth, but I do love a good savoury dinner. But I'm not going to have a starter and a main to forgo a dessert. Yeah. So I have to say, I have to. It's either all three. You know, I'm not just going to have to. So I'm going to have to say. You always save a bit for sweet, don't you?
Meat or veg?
Ooh, it has to be meat. Sorry, people.
Hugs or kisses?
I think. I give good hugs, but I like to receive nice kisses.
Okay. Night out or night in?
Right now, desperate for a night out.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Anywhere.
But I'm fearing this, that when we're allowed to go out, we won't, because we'll be too scared.
Probably.
And we'll be like, oh no, better not, because it's, I'm a little bit, sort of all pandemics over, leave the door. Okay, thanks, bye. I think I'll just stay here for a little bit more. So I'm desperate for a night out. I love my nights out, as I'm sure you are aware. I love going out. I absolutely love going out. But I'm so used to being indoor. No, definitely going out.
Okay. Tour or West End run?
Oh, gosh. I mean, I love both. Oh, gosh. I mean, West End, just because it's easy for me to get to and travelling in and out of work. But again, tour, because it's just so amazing going around the country and just actually, it's amazing going around the country. It's brilliant. Oh, West End just for the ease of being at home.
Okay. Favourite film?
One that I will always go and put, oh gosh, just one. See, I'm not getting anything else in my head apart from this one. Oh no, I've got another one's just popped in. So there's Alien.
Okay.
Or Aliens. But also then Contact. I must be quite sci-fi.
Must be, yeah.
Contact with Jodie Foster. I just adore that, and not many people. So for you to go, I might have seen it. You've seen it, so but a lot of people don't know it. That's Connie and Carla for the comedy. Contact, yeah, I think Contact, and also actually Contact and Alien have John Hurt in it, and John Hurt is amazing.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, Alien Man, it's a naked civil servant. So yeah.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
Favourite book?
A book called Shantaram. I was sharing the quick change room, and the guy next to me was reading this book, and it's like that big. And I don't really read books that often. It's just something that never sort of set or drilled into me. Oh, that's one thing. Advice: make a diary. I've always wished I'd made a diary, and I was given a diary when I was younger. I never did. So it would be quite nice to, because I forget now. Yeah. I really forget. Thank God my mum's got a memory, because I can't. So make a diary. Okay. But the guy was reading this book in the quick change room next to me, Isaac, and I went, okay, no, I'll try it. And literally couldn't put it down. And a book like that, and it was just, it's a true life story. An Australian guy that was in prison, escaped prison, went to India, and went and lived in a shanty. Became, even though without with just basic first aid, became like the doctor of this shanty town, but was addicted to like heroin. So was, you know, but became a Bollywood film extra and stuff like that. It's just, I just couldn't put it down. He was, and the characters that he meets, weeping now thinking about it.
Last one, ultimate comfort food.
Oh, I mean, even though I said sweet, my partner's spaghetti bolognese, I think, or pasta bolognese, because spaghetti doesn't hold the meat. So, but also as well, this bolognese is made without tomatoes and is made with milk.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it's a proper traditional, I think it's more Northern Italian meat bolognese sauce. If you add tomatoes to it, then it becomes a tomato meat sauce. So this is that with garlic bread, flat garlic bread maybe, with a bit of cheese, loads of parmesan, loads of pepper. I think that's really nice. Or steak, chips and peas with a peppercorn sauce.
Okay. Thank you so much for joining me. It's been lovely talking to you.
And you, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, it's been great. And hopefully we'll see each other again soon.
Who knows, maybe. Fingers crossed, and, you know, let's pray.
Definitely.
Pray for a return at some point.
Yeah. Speak to you soon.
All right, cheers.
Bye.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.